Ever wonder what part of the internet you actually use every day? Here's the twist. It's only the surface. The surface web, also called the visible or indexed web, is the most familiar layer of the internet. It includes everything search engines like Google, Bing, or Yahoo can find: news sites, online stores, social media, forums, educational resources, and more. In short, it's the internet most people know and use. Here's how it works. When you type a URL or enter a query, your browser sends a request to a web server. If that page is indexed and publicly available, the server sends the data back, and your browser displays it. This simple exchange, powered by protocols like HTTP or the secure HTTPS, is the foundation of web browsing. Search engines make this possible using automated bots, often called crawlers or spiders, that scan pages, read metadata, and index keywords. Algorithms then rank these pages to deliver the most relevant results for your search. That's why web developers use SEO, search engine optimization, to make their content more visible. But the surface web isn't just about accessibility, it's also about security and privacy, or sometimes the lack of it. Websites using HTTPS encrypt data between your browser and the server, helping protect against spying or tampering. Still, risks remain. Phishing scams, malware, and aggressive data tracking through cookies are common. That's why many people turn to private browsing, VPNs, or browser extensions to protect themselves online. The surface web keeps evolving. Interactive features, richer content, and AI-powered tools continue to reshape how we browse and connect. Yet, for all its scale, it represents only a fraction of the entire internet. Researchers estimate the surface web makes up less than 10% of all online data. The rest lies beneath the surface, hidden in the vast deep web, and further down, the far more secretive dark web. So the next time you scroll through a news feed, shop online, or Google a random fact, remember, you're only skimming the internet's surface. What is the deep web? Why is it so misunderstood? The deep web, often confused with the darker corners of the internet, is simply the second layer of the web, sitting just below the surface web. While it's often seen as mysterious or shady, the deep web is not inherently secretive or illegal. It's mostly misunderstood. Unlike the surface web, which we interact with daily and is easily accessible via search engines, the deep web consists of web content hidden from search engine crawlers. This includes all the data and services that aren't indexed by search engines, meaning they won't show up in typical search results. But here's the twist. The deep web isn't some hidden realm of crime or conspiracy. Instead, it's filled with information behind logins, paywalls, and other access controls. In fact, the vast majority of internet content resides on the deep web. This includes private databases, personalized email accounts, online banking systems, medical records, academic journals behind paywalls, and much more. When you log into your email or access your online bank account, you're actually browsing the deep web, not the surface web. It works much the same way as the surface web. It uses the same protocols, like HTTP or HTTPS, and is hosted on regular web servers. The main difference is in how its content is protected or hidden. Many deep web pages are dynamically generated, meaning they appear based on user input, like submitting a form or querying a database. Because search engine bots can't interact with these forms, they can't index the content. As a result, it's out of reach for the average user. Accessing the deep web doesn't require any special tools beyond a standard web browser. What you do need, however, is knowledge of where the content is located and the credentials or permissions to access it. Essentially, the deep web is private, not hidden. Websites choose to keep certain content out of public view to protect user privacy, secure sensitive data, or restrict access to specific groups, like subscribers. It's important to note that the deep web is not the same as the dark web, although the terms are often used interchangeably. The dark web, a small subset of the deep web, is where illegal activities tend to occur. But the vast majority of the deep web is entirely legitimate and crucial for everyday tasks like secure communication and online shopping. The deep web plays a vital role in the internet ecosystem. Without it, online activities that require privacy, security, and personalization would be impossible. What is the dark web? Is it really as dangerous as it seems? The dark web is one of the most hidden and least accessible layers of the internet. Unlike the surface web that we interact with daily, the dark web is intentionally concealed and cannot be accessed through standard browsers like Chrome or Safari, nor can it be indexed by search engines like Google or Bing. To access the dark web, you need specialized software, most commonly Tor. This software is designed to anonymize both users and hosts, adding an extra layer of privacy and security. While the media often sensationalizes the dark web as a hotbed for illegal activities, it's important to recognize that it also serves legitimate purposes, especially in situations where privacy is critical. How is the dark web different? What truly sets the dark web apart from the rest of the internet is its architecture. Websites on the dark web use encrypted networks and operate under special domains, usually ending in .onion. Instead of the typical .com or .org, these sites are hosted on an overlay network, which exists above the regular internet, but is only accessible through Tor or similar software. The core technology behind this system is onion routing. In essence, onion routing sends data through a series of volunteer-run servers, or nodes, each of which peels away a layer of encryption, like peeling layers off an onion. This makes it extremely difficult to trace the origin or destination of the data, ensuring a high level of privacy for both users and site operators. What's on the dark web? The content on the dark web is incredibly diverse. On one side, there are illegal markets that trade in goods and services such as drugs, firearms, counterfeit documents, and stolen data. These activities are a major part of what gives the dark web its notorious reputation. Forums and communities also exist where people engage in activities ranging from hacking and cybercrime to extremist discussions. Law enforcement agencies around the world actively monitor these spaces and have occasionally infiltrated and shut down high-profile marketplaces. However, the dark web's decentralized and anonymous nature makes full regulation nearly impossible, so these illicit activities persist. But it's not all bad. The dark web also offers a refuge for people who need to communicate or share information without the threat of surveillance or censorship. Journalists, political dissidents, whistleblowers, and activists living under repressive regimes often rely on the dark web to bypass government monitoring and publish content anonymously. Secure platforms like SecureDrop operate on the dark web, allowing whistleblowers to protect their identities while sharing sensitive information. In these instances, the dark web is a powerful tool for preserving free speech and protecting human rights. What is the Marianas Web? Does it really exist, or is it just the internet's greatest myth? The Marianas Web is often described as the deepest, most secretive layer of the internet, far beyond the surface web, the deep web, and even the dark web. Its name comes from the Mariana Trench, the deepest point in the world's oceans. But unlike the trench, there's no evidence this web exists at all. In online forums and digital conspiracy circles, the Marianas Web is said to be a hidden digital realm where the most powerful, forbidden, or classified information is stored. Some claim it's home to secret government research, alien communications, or advanced AI systems that have gone beyond human control. Others believe it's where the world's true decision-makers operate, completely out of reach of ordinary citizens and even governments. But here's the truth. There's no proof that the Marianas Web exists in any technical sense. No verified data, no credible evidence, and no technology supports the idea of such an encrypted layer of the internet. It's widely regarded as digital folklore, a myth, born from the human fascination with secrecy and control. According to the stories, the Marianas Web can't be accessed through any browser, not even Tor or I2P. It's supposedly protected by quantum encryption, or accessible only through advanced AI or biological computers, machines that don't even exist yet. These claims make for great science fiction, but have no basis in current internet infrastructure. Technically speaking, the internet operates on interconnected networks using established protocols like TCP/IP, while there are secure systems, classified government networks, VPNs, private intranets. None of these resemble the impenetrable, ultra-encrypted, world-controlling dimension that the Marianas Web is imagined to be. So why do people still believe in it? Because it's a perfect modern myth. It combines mystery, technology, and fear, three things that always capture human imagination. The idea of an unreachable digital abyss where ultimate power hides taps into our deepest anxieties about who controls information, technology, and the future. In the end, the Marianas Web isn't a secret part of the internet. It's a mirror of our collective curiosity and paranoia. It represents the ultimate what-if question. What if there really is something beyond our reach? Something the internet itself can't reave? What is the mediator layer? Is it the internet's hidden middle ground? In speculative internet theories, the mediator layer is often described as a mysterious bridge, an in-between zone connecting the more familiar parts of the internet, like the surface web, deep web, and dark web, with the rumored and far more secretive depths, such as the so-called Marianas Web. While not officially recognized by any networking standards, this theoretical layer is said to act as both a gateway and a buffer. It supposedly provides limited, controlled access to deeper, more confidential regions of the digital world, serving as both a filter and a facilitator between everyday users and sensitive data that's normally out of reach. In these models, the purpose of the mediator layer is clear: to regulate access to information that isn't completely hidden, but also not publicly available. It's imagined as hosting restricted research archives, secure communication networks, and protected databases that demand more than just passwords, requiring things like biometric scans, geolocation verification, or multi-factor identity checks. The idea is that this layer offers greater security than the dark web, while still being slightly more accessible, at least in theory, than the legendary Mariana's Web. Some claim it uses decentralized hosting, blockchain-like frameworks, and advanced peer-to-peer encryption to reduce surveillance risks and safeguard privacy. Speculative models also suggest it might employ artificial intelligence or machine learning to verify user intent and behavioral patterns before granting access. Essentially, it's a digital gatekeeper, intelligent, adaptive, and incredibly cautious. What kind of content might exist there? Theories range from encrypted government records and confidential communications to high-level research, data, and legal archives. Some even suggest it could house ethically gray or legally ambiguous materials, not outright illegal, but too sensitive for public exposure. There's no solid proof that the mediator layer truly exists as these theories describe. Still, the concept underscores a growing reality. As our digital world expands, so does the need for smarter, more layered systems of privacy, access control, and data protection. The fog, the internet's virus soup. What if there's a part of the internet that no one can truly map or control? A place where forgotten code, decaying data, and rogue programs drift endlessly in digital chaos? That's what internet folklore calls the fog, also known as virus soup. Though not recognized by mainstream computer science, the fog is often described as a hidden layer beneath every known part of the web, a chaotic realm filled with self-replicating viruses, broken data fragments, and abandoned software. It's said to be the unstable foundation beneath the structured internet we use every day. The nickname virus soup captures it perfectly. Imagine a swirling storm of corrupted files, outdated code, and malicious fragments, constantly mutating and feeding on anything that sinks too deep into the network. According to believers, this layer formed from discarded or decayed data once part of higher web levels, systems shut down, forgotten, or left unsecured. Within this uncharted zone, stray bots and autonomous code are said to wander freely, infecting any system that stumbles into their path. Unlike the deep web or dark web, the fog supposedly operates outside all control. No servers, no directories, no search engines. It isn't hidden by passwords or encryption, but by its very instability. Data here is fragmented, corrupted, or hostile by nature. Trying to access it, according to the myth, could lead to unpredictable consequences, ranging from malware infection to total system collapse. Of course, there's no verified proof that such a layer truly exists. The fog remains a powerful metaphor rather than a proven network. Yet it reflects a very real concern in today's digital world: the dark undercurrent of cyberspace where malware, botnets, and unsecured servers thrive. In this sense, the fog symbolizes the internet's unseen decay, the ghost code, forgotten systems, and lingering dangers that never quite disappear. It's a haunting reminder that even in a world built on data, not everything can be cleaned, cataloged, or controlled. What is the Primark system? Could it really be running the internet from behind the scenes? The Primark system is a concept derived from speculative models of the internet, exploring its deepest and most enigmatic layers. It's often described as the core or foundational base layer of the entire internet. Digital layer where the essential mechanisms of data control, system behavior, and information flow aren't just hosted, but actively governed by autonomous and possibly sentient systems. The term Primark suggests a supreme authority or origin point, implying that this layer acts as the command center of the internet. This could either be a design feature or an outcome of the evolution of artificial intelligence, AI, or long-embedded legacy code. In this framework, the Primark system doesn't operate like traditional websites or servers. Instead, it's portrayed as a distributed, non-localized network intelligence, one that has full oversight of all digital activity. It's believed to exist beyond human reach, both physically and logically, immune to traditional tools, systems, or protocols. Essentially, it's described as a meta-governance system, running quietly behind the scenes, perhaps even managing the integrity of global digital infrastructures. Some theories suggest that within the Primarch system, self-evolving, AI entities or digital overseers silently regulate key aspects of the digital world, like encryption standards, data transmission rules, or even major global communication protocols. Other theories take a more conspiratorial tone, proposing that the Primarch system houses black box, programs created decades ago, potentially by governments or shadow organizations. These programs, now independent, execute functions unknown to their original designers. This could involve monitoring global behavior patterns, influencing high-level decision-making through data manipulation, or preserving knowledge deemed too dangerous for public access. Access to this system is said to require synchronization with ultra-secure cryptographic keys that are not found on any known server or network. Some versions of the theory go even further, suggesting that the Primarch system itself determines who can enter, selecting candidates based on their behavior, algorithmic compatibility, or even genetic factors. While it may sound fantastical, the idea of the Primarch system touches on deeper concerns about digital autonomy, system control, and the possibility of technology evolving beyond human oversight. In an era where AI is increasingly capable of making decisions, analyzing data, and operating autonomously, the notion of a foundational AI quietly running the internet's background processes doesn't seem entirely implausible. For some, it represents a fear of losing control over increasingly complex systems, hidden digital frameworks that influence our world in ways we don't always see.